people, welcome back to my YouTube. It's your girl Honey. Hope you guys are doing really well. It's been a while, I know, but I thought I'd make a very quick video and just talk to you guys about this upcoming solar eclipse that's happening today. So right now, as I'm doing the video, the moon is currently at about 6-7 degrees in Cancer, and later on tonight it will be at 10 degrees, okay, depending on where you are in the world anyway. And this is a solar eclipse, a very significant eclipse is basically going to be forming today, and the whole purpose of eclipses are for brand new beginnings. It's a second chance in a sense of starting something new. I want you guys to pull up your own birth charts, and I also recommend looking at your solar return charts as well. And when I say birth charts, I'm talking about the circular charts, not the list charts, because a lot of you keep on asking me questions. I don't have Cancer in my chart. I don't have Scorpio in my chart. I don't have this. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Just make sure you put up the circular diagram of your birth chart and have a look at each individual house, okay? And each house, you will have a sign that is ruling that house, the sign that is at the very beginning of the house, wherever Cancer is, okay? And you can count the lines. The lines are the orbs, okay? And they are all degrees. The first degree in that house will be 0. The next one, 1, 2, 3, count to 10 in Cancer, and that is where your that's where your eclipse is going to be happening. So for example, mine's going to be conjunct my Jupiter, and also have a look to see if you've got any aspects. So for example, if you have Cancer energy, Libra energy, Capricorn, and also Aries, those particular energies, we've got a lot of work, honey, like a lot of work happening this year. So those energies in particular, have a look to see if you have anything within, I'm going to say, about 8 degree orb of the 10 degrees of Cancer, okay? I don't like to talk about my degrees because degrees are very personal. But anyway, this eclipse is going to be affecting me everywhere, and I'm a little bit intimidated, I'm not going to lie. But I realized, okay, what I need to do is I need to make a lot of changes. I've got to manifest like crazy today, but I manifest a lot, so I'm going to recommend you guys to start the whole process of manifesting whatever it is that you want. Whatever you want, just literally just pull that shit towards you. Now, I started manifesting like heavy in 2016, and most of you will know that I was moved into a countryside in outside of London, and it was horrible. It was awful. It was one of the worst times of my life. I've had quite a few, and I started writing down a manifestation list, and I always said, I can't stay here. I go, this is not my house. And I said, this is not my house, this is not my house, this is not my house. And I manifested, I want a nice 2-bedroom house that's back in London. And I remember the guy who was paying rent, he was like, you're not going to go nowhere. You can't afford to go anywhere. You ain't going nowhere. And I'm like, yes, I will. Yes, I will. And I did move. I ended up moving here. Here I am now. And I'm now sitting here thinking, God, I want to move again, you know. Yeah. But now I want security more than anything. I'm in a flat and I'm on the 3rd floor. Outside there's not enough parking, there's not enough greenery, and there's no water. I love being around water, I love water. And when you think of Cancer energy, Cancer represents home, foundation, it's our security, our families, you know, even our mothers. And right now, a lot of us should be feeling like we want to move house, or we want to we want to feel more secure within ourselves. And it's, you know, when you think Cancer, it's also our emotions. So this is a time, by the way, we should have been seeing this as well over the last week, where a lot of us have been very emotionally expressive. But you have to be honest with yourself and ask yourself, am I expressing myself in a toxic manner? A solar eclipse is going to bring out a lot of emotions within a lot of people, but we have to start expressing ourselves in ways that people can process how we're feeling. So be a lot more tactful with your emotions. I wrote a few things down actually. Yes, we need to monitor our actions over the next 6 months, because this eclipse tends to last about 6 months, the effects of it anyway. And how I think I deal with my emotions is I don't express myself a lot. However, in the last 2 weeks I have, and I realized that this is better because I'm getting more out in regards to how I feel. I'm saying exactly what's on my mind, and I'm not trying to say it in an offensive way or to hurt people's feelings. It's just how I'm feeling. And to be fair, I feel better for it. And this is why I like Cancer season for that, because the whole purpose, honey, is for us to address how we feel. We're supposed to be taken into our feels. But I always say to every single person that has some sort of emotional issues on their chart, I say, we are not in charge of how we feel. You can feel however you want you can feel it. However, you are in charge of how you are emotionally reacting towards people. So, use this time to not react badly towards other people. Use this time to really process and deep your feelings, like seriously process and deep your feelings. And also the opposition of Saturn. We've got opposition of Saturn happening as well. And this is another thing where we have to start taking responsibility of how we're feeling. And Saturn wants us to take responsibility of wherever the eclipse is happening throughout our charts. So for me, it's happening in my second house. And second house is the house of finances. It's also conjunct to my Jupiter, which is my knowledge. And Jupiter is from the 9th house, which is the house of higher learning, distant travels, foreign lands, languages, culture. I'm planning a trip. I'm going abroad. And I've got to start taking responsibilities with that. Making sure that I'm completely organized, because I hate organizing trips. I hate it. I've also got to sort out my finances. Yes, people, second house is the house of finances, your income, your spending as well, your self-worth. Everything needs to be evaluated. So, remember I was just saying about properties and moving and stuff. And when you look at moving, you have to look at the 4th house and also your moon, and also your second house as well, because the second house is also your securities, and to feel secure you need to have a stable home. So I'm now having to think about, how can I manifest a property? How can I manifest? Because I want a 4-bedroom now, honey, but now I want to purchase. I'm now thinking about purchasing. So I'm thinking, okay, if I want to buy with my partner, right, he's already got the financial capacity. I don't have it. I've got to try and get 20 fucking plus grand to put money on a house in the country. I'm going back to the countryside now. To now put some money to get a house. How do I do that? Now this is where the manifestation comes into play. I'm now writing down, I want to receive a 20 grand check minimum. Yeah, minimum. But I've also got to think, but how can I make that 20 grand? I can't just sit here and say, give me 20 grand, give me 20 grand. No. I've also got to take responsibility, which is Saturn. So I've got to think of an idea of how I can make 20 grand in a short space of time. And I've been given 6 months. So I've drafted up a plan now, which I will obviously talk about another time. But it's definitely possible. Do you know what I'm saying? So you got to think about shit like that, honey. You got to think about shit like that. When you think of Cancer energy, it's all about nurturing. So the house that is falling in it on your chart is all about nurturing that house. This is really, and also North Node's in Cancer. So we need to be working towards looking after that particular house that Cancer is ruling. Whether it be finances, children, your work, your friendship circles, your relationships. It could even be your 12th house, which is the house of your own consciousness. That's the house of self-care. There may be some hospital visits, you know, you may even end up in hospital. But you have to look after yourself above and beyond anything. Same with 6th house. Even 6th house, you can get health issues, or you may have to just look after your health a lot more. Or perhaps it could be an issue at work, okay? Perhaps putting in more time or more effort at work with your relationships or working relationships. So it all depends on where your Cancer is in your house. Just make sure that you are nurturing that house's matters, okay? So I had to make a very quick video. I'm so busy right now. Please write down a list of the things that you want to achieve within the next 12 months, okay? But you've got 6 months to start, you know, processing things and putting things together, putting the pieces to the puzzle, basically. Put it on your fridge, because I always put my list on my fridge. Put your list. I've got actually, what's crazy, right? I've been writing a list over the last 2 weeks. I know that this is coming up, this eclipse is coming up. So I thought, let me just write down a list. And it's so hard to write it down in like 10 minutes or even like a day, because you just got loads of things coming up in your head. So the best thing to do is write stuff down and keep adding to it and put it on your fridge so you see it every day. So at least that way you're able to think about the things that you can possibly do to reach closer to your targets or your goals. But honestly, people, this is the best time to start manifesting stuff. And it's on my moon, it's aspecting my moon, my Jupiter, like even my Chiron as well. And it's also going to be squaring transit Chiron. So there is likely to be some sort of loss as well, but you can't let these things deter you from reaching your goal, okay? So honeys, I'm gonna go now, and if you guys want to leave some comments, tell me what you've been doing today, your manifestation stuff, I'd love to hear it. But I wish you guys all the best and take care. Peace.